Good evening to all you racing fans out there, and welcome to race number 4 of the ongoing second season of the mainstream racing series, one of the most entertaining race series in F1 2020 going on right now. Today, for race number 4, we will head to Italy in Monza, just on the outskirts of Milano, for a 50% race. And before that, we see a 18 minutes qualifying to settle our starting grid. We always have full vehicle dynamic weather and regular corner cutting, so not the strict version of it. Full setup, of course, no ghosting, manual race start. Here's the list of assists that can be used. We have pit assists, pit release assists, all that stuff is set to off. Manual gearbox and maximally medium traction control. Here is the track we race on here tonight. Yeah, a track that actually needs no introduction. One of the most historic races and tracks in all racing history. Next year, Monza will turn 100 years of age, and the track difficulty is set as very easy. That's not quite correct, because you definitely need to limit the downforce as much as you can to be successful on this full throttle track, and therefore it is rather hard to get through the 11 turns we will have here tonight. The lap record is dating back to Rubens Barrichello in 2004, a 121.0, and the track is 5.8 kilometers of length and one of the fastest in the whole Canada. The session is always one of the shortest because the distance is driven very fast. We will not have a full grid tonight. We see at least Sergio Vasquez and Goziga Simpa. Simon Gustafsson will miss tonight. And to the E, that's Nevis Ekic, our reserve is in. Maybe there's still one or two men missing, so we will still have a few minutes of time and hope that everyone that can drive will join in. Yeah, one more thing, or one of the topics that we talk about, that we have experienced in the past couple of days. Everyone knows, I think, what I'm going to speak out now. We have seen two people of the racing world that sadly passed away. That was Sabine Schmitz, the queen of the Nürburgring, who lost the fight to cancer just yesterday. And a few days ago, the voice of Formula One sadly left the earth, left the planet, Murray Walker. And for these two people who sadly passed away, we decided to have a silent phase, 1 minute per person. So the first 2 minutes in the qualifying will be silent. There will not be any driver going out on the track to salute them. And most of the drivers, I'm not sure if really everyone did, but most of the drivers said that they will race in a totally black helmet tonight as a salute and as a sign of respect to these two persons and their families. So for the moment, the quali and the session should start very soon. For the moment, I will step aside and will be back with you as soon as we head to Italy. So with these pictures of the racing track, we have been heading here to Monza, and yeah, just as mentioned, we will have a silent minute, or 2 silent minutes, 1 silent minute for every one of those 2 persons that sadly passed away. So the weather is fine, weather is fair, and for the first 2 minutes I mentioned no one will hit the track, and so I will not hit my microphone in order to salute to Murray Walker and Sabine Schmitz. So the 2 minutes of salute are over, and for the moment let's virtually applaud the 2 persons and their achievements. So, and with 2.5 minutes now into the qualifying, let's focus on our duty for the day, on what is important for the day. And first thing to do is, as I always do, my little tradition to have a look at the first driver who's out on a hot lap or on an out lap, and ride on board with him for this first lap to get in a bit of a feeling for the track. First one who went out was Stephen Hodgetts. Now was overtaken by a Williams. That can only be Kaan Tan. Delay, nope, he's in the pits, so it had to be Blake Gary. Still, Scuba was the first one, so I will stay with him for the moment. And let's have a look at the tires. Fair weather, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. Fair weather and dry, sunny, warm conditions here in Monza. So his helm is not totally black, but mostly black with some red scratches on the side, if you can say so. And he is sitting in the Alfa Romeo, starting his hot lap right here. Monza, I mentioned it already, is a high-speed track. You need to have more or less zero downforce, and therefore it's very hard to get through the turns. Here the first chicane after the start-finish straight. This chicane is rather okay, no big issue. Likewise is the second chicane right here at the end of sector 1. The turns aren't too vicious, but now the two Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2 are very hard to take. Medium pace turns, 4th, 5th gear, and the gravel pit is very close. So if you have just a little bit of understeer, you find yourself in the middle of sand and dirt. Then the long Ascari chicane at the end, very hard to take, and we see just why. We just saw why. A lot of understeer, car is unstable on this point of the track, and the last turn, the legendary Parabolica, and Scuba gets out of the way as David Lawson was faster from behind. First time of Scuba will not be competitive. The first time is coming in. The first bunch of drivers have crossed the start-finish straight, and the first pole setter is Stefan Williams. I had a little bit of a course how to pronounce his name. I hope I'm doing better here today. Stefan Williams is in the pole at the moment with a 118.9, and that is 1.2 faster than Simo Peter Simpson. Then already a big gap, 1.2 seconds the gap to Ryan Price, 1.3 to some others like Nevis Ekic or Blake Gary. Yeah, we had the 5th of our Season 2 driver interviews. Between the races we always have something like a little chat together. It's called an interview, but it's actually more nice and funny chat between racing fans, I would like to say. So I always invite a few of our drivers to get to know them a bit better. And those guys in this week, 2 days ago, was Stefan Williams, Stephen Hodgetts and Ryan Price, the 3 Welsh Dragons. And in this conversation, Stefan Williams told me how to pronounce his name. I hope that I can keep it up. And we see Scuba Stephen Hodgetts, who was one of them, meanwhile back to the pits. He needs a new set of tires in order to get in a competitive lap time. Right now we see Ricky Kuao on the end of his hot lap. Let's see whether time will stop for him. 119.7, good enough for P4. Second start row, just behind the Mixner, that's Torpedo Jack, who has pushed into P3. Still no time set from our overall leader, standings leader, Katie Lay, that's Kaan Tan. Let's stay with him for the moment. Kaan Tan, the leader, 60 points out of the first 3 races. That's really good. He finished every race on the podium. And second position is to Mirco Caruso, who is 25 points already behind him. So even if Kaan Tan would DNF tonight and Caruso wins, Kaan Tan would still be in the lead. And in third position then Stefan Williams, 30 points, exactly minus 30 to the leader. Then it's very close. Jane van der Bril, Tom Walsh, Peter Simpson, Dom Walsh, all of them within 10 points. So the guys behind Caruso are very close, but between P1 and P2 we see already a little bit of a gap, but the season's still young, so still a lot of stuff can go on in the ongoing season. Pointless, we still have 5 drivers being with 0 points. That is Martin Ward, Mark Goodman, Stephen Hodgetts, Blake Gary and Sergio Vasquez. Vasquez will definitely stay pointless because he is the only driver, sadly, who couldn't make it to this event here today. So Kaan Tan here is in the third sector already. It seemed a bit violent, but rather fast, I suppose, how he went through Ascari. Now in the Parabolica, and then he will be ranked in P3, only P3, I would like to say. 4/10 behind Simo, 5/10 behind Williams. So let's have a quick look at the other one who is in the chase for the overall lead. Mirco Caruso, the Rokkstar. Rokkstar, by the way, his name isn't coming by Jeopardy. He is a Rokkstar, actually not rock itself, but a musician. Just look up his name, Mirco Caruso, on Spotify and you will find out why. And his time will stop at a 1:19.9, only P7. About a second between him and Williams. Meanwhile, Blake Gary is now 10th, Van de Bril 11, Leonard Cam has posted a time for P13, Mercyman, that's Martin Ward in 14. Mike Taylor is ranked back now to 16th because David Lawson, our host, pushed ahead into P10. And the only one who did not set a time yet is Grimo, Mark Goodman, who's trying on mediums right now. Maybe let's jump to him real quick. There he is in his Alpha Tauri. And we have a new pole setter. New pole time. Peter Simo Simpson pushing ahead 2/10 faster now than Stefan Williams. That's it. I'm sorry. So 5.5 minutes in, and we see a little bit of a different time schedule due to our 2-minute break in the early beginning. And usually right now would be the time when a little bit of a breather of the quali will end. Right now it seems a little bit hectic, I would like to say. We see still almost about 1/3 of the field on a hot lap, and half or 2/3 of the field is still in the pits. Whoever goes out now, like Ryan Price or Blake Gary, they will go out right now already on their final shot. They will not have enough time to post a hot lap, come in and then try for yet another one. Same goes now for Stefan Williams, who's just started an out lap. And all those who are already on a hot lap need to decide whether they abort it right now or stick to it. Maybe for the moment. Let's have a look what Jack Rocknan is doing. He's nothing doing. What is Ricky Kouau doing? He might be on a hot lap. No, he is not. 3.5 seconds slower. Who else? Who else? Who else? Stephen Hodgett. I think, he improved himself from P17 to P12. 1.3 seconds behind Simpson. He needs to hurry. Either he needs to hurry to come back and try again, or no, he is finished maximally in P12. Ryan Price, is he still on a hot lap? Ah, he is. Let's maybe stay with the Mercedes number 2 driver. Improving by, I think, 1.5 tenths it was, approximately. Let's see what time will stop for him at the end of Sector 2. Just through the tunnel here, and then we will see... Aha, he finds half a second. Half a second of improvement. That sounds a lot. That would push him into 4th starting row, maybe somewhere around Lennotcam. Zemixna, Lennotcam, somewhere there. Let's see where it will bring him. He found 8th in the end, not 5, but 8, and that gives him P4. Next to his teammate, 2nd starting row is owned by Mercedes here, while we have seen Gary, who has checked out, and we see a Williams that crashed. I would like to say crashed shortly after the Ascari, and that can only mean that he lost his car on the same spot where we saw Stephen Hodgetts almost losing it earlier. And right now, so Ryan Price is finished for the moment. Let's have a look what K-Delay Kaan Tan is doing right now in P5. Didn't see the comparison after the end of Sector 1 through the Lesmos. And we will see the end of Sector 2 very shortly. He does have to improve. And he does, almost 3/10, but that would not be enough to... That wouldn't bring him very, very much. He might be able to split the Mercedes or just push ahead of both the Mercedes, but it's not good enough to push for the pole. Our overall leader. And in the end, he will be ranked in P3, just ahead of the Mercedes, but not good enough to attack Simpson or Williams. Simpson or Williams. Stefan Williams is not on an improvement here. What is Peter Simpson doing? No improvement for him likewise, so the top 3 are set. What is Caruso doing? The Rokkstar. Oh, he's about level to his formerly posted time. 0.003 of a tenth. His improvement. Stefan Williams is out already. He has retired. What is Jack Rocknan doing? Rocknan into the gravel pit. That's it for him. Jarne Vandebril, his teammate. Doesn't look fast. One of our admins, one of the rookies of the last season, and Vandebril is out already. Stuart McDonald, Leonard Cam doesn't look fast either. He is out likewise. What is Kaan Tan doing? Is Kaan Tan? Yes, Kaan Tan is... No, I'm sorry, that's not Kaan Tan. This is Ricky Kuao. I sometimes mix up those two Swiss drivers. Ricky Kuao, that's it. He is still an odd lap, maybe the last one of our top 10 who is still chasing times. Let's see where he will be ranked at the end of Sector 2. Just through the bridge here, and then we will see where the time will stop for him. For the moment, he is improving, but just barely, half a tenth his improvement. That would be enough to at least beat Leonard Cam. That would give him the push for P9. Not a big improvement for Ricky in the end. Let's have a look. We can easily stay with him because everyone in front of him is finished. The pole is to Simo and Ricky Kuao. Wow, P6 in the end. P6. He found enough to jump ahead by 4 positions. Congrats to him. By the way, I did not call on our reigning champion Dominic Walsh in P12 only. only P12 for our reigning champion. He needs to watch the vice champion from last year, Simo, take the pole. Congrats to him. And Stefan Williams, who told us in the interview a few days ago, was that he feels very confident about Monza and he would be highly disappointed if he couldn't achieve a podium here today. And P2 from the start is already a very good basis for him. So the session is officially finished here, and we see Simo Peter Simpson in the pole, then Stefan Williams, third for Kaan Tan, fourth Caruso, fifth Ryan Price, sixth Ricky Kuau, 7 Andrew Mont, 8 is Jack Rocknian, 10 Jane Vanderbrill, 10 Thomas Walsh, 11 Leonard Kam, 12 Dominic Walsh, 13 Stephen Hodgetts, 14 Nevis Ekic, 15 David Lawson, 16 Mike Taylor, then Blake Gary, 18 for Mercyman, and 19 for Mark Goodman. So the qualifying is over. The top 10 qualifiers have to start the race on their set of softs, while P11 and beyond have a free choice of tire. The weather looks cloudy but dry. Cloudy but dry, and our drivers have 30 seconds of time now to get their setup done and the strategy about tires, and have a last moment of a breather and maybe grab a drink, and then we will head into our installation lab. We luckily have an installation lab that gives me a minute or two of time to get some things sorted out. So this is our starting grid and the tire strategy presented by the Amazon Web Services. It will definitely be a one-stop race in case there isn't any safety car troubling the situation. Let's have a look at the tires that are used. The top 10 have to use, of course, the softs. Then we see only a few drivers who start on mediums. That's only Dominic Walsh, David Lawson, Mark Goodman, and Mike Taylor. The rest will start on softs, because a one-stop strategy is very easily possible. Yes, so for the moment, I mentioned this race event here today is totally under the sign of the passed away legends, living legends, and one personal note to it, because Murray Walker was the role model for any Formula One commentator, of course, no matter if it's real life or in virtual world. And I have two things in common with him, because Murray Walker started this commentary as something like a next to his main job, just like I do, of course, just like everyone does in the virtual world. And second, Murray Walker was left-handed, and I am too, and I am very delighted of having to listen to his best works in the last couple of days on the F1 TV and on YouTube, of course. And so if I can say so, if I'm allowed to say so, I would like to dedicate my commentary job tonight to this number one Formula 1 commentator we have seen on the world, Murray Walker. Thank you for all the things you did and for creating this job of a Formula 1 broadcaster, if you can say so. So here we go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 laps. Go, 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 go! The race is started. Seymour Simpson on the best start behind Williams, under pressure by Kaan Tan. Into the first chicane, a bump between those two guys, but no damage, I think. And in the background, bit of a shove against Ryan Price. Both Ferraris were struggling, but everything went rather cleanly, I would like to say. I didn't see anything big go wrong there. Everyone came through the first chicane more or less cleanly. I didn't see any debris flying off anywhere. And for the moment everything looks quite okay. Bit of up and down on the overall table on the standings, because Torpedo Jack and Dominic Walsh probably collided, probably took those two guys out together. This is the view of Rokkstar. Let's see what Dom Walsh is doing. Dom Walsh is not that far behind. He's still close to the drivers ahead, but lost a bunch of positions. I think his front wing is intact, and the Ferrari front wing of Rokkstar is not. So early pit stop for Rokkstar. Let's see if he will be the only one to pit. Right now in the second lap always the table is confused, so ignore the ups and downs. After this lap 2 we will have a look what happened, how everything will shake down. We see Stephen Hodgetts in the pits, likewise to Jarne Van de Bril, and Rokkstar is in the pits too. His teammate, he has to wait now. He has to wait, but luckily just a short little wait for Rokkstar. The Ferrari crew worked very well there. And here we are on board with our leader in the totally black helmet for Peter Simpson. As soon as he will finish his lap, the standings will be correct again, and then we will have a look how the things are shaking down. So yes, now we are really in lap 3 and we see Peter Simpson leading. Then in P2, Stefan Williams already under pressure here by Kaan Tan, who is trying to overtake, and with DRS activated, with 3 DRS zones on this fast-paced track, this will just be a matter of time. Maybe already now, wheel to wheel before the second chicane. Kaan Tan ahead, and he is! Kaan Tan pushed ahead. Kaan Tan didn't even wait for the next DRS zone. Williams with a bit of troubles here in the Nesmo, and now he is to the mercy of Caruso. Rokkstar, the DRS zone right here, the S-ring open up, but I think Williams has it too, so no advantage for any of those two drivers. We see Simpson 1.6 seconds away from Kaan Tan. Then Stefan Williams, Rokkstar, Caruso in 4th. 5 to Ricky Kuao. Then P6 and 7, Tom Walsh, Leonard Kemp, Blake Gary, the winners of the start, but Monster! Andrew Mond is out! Andrew Mond is out! Where is he? There he is! There is a wrecked AlphaTauri! Our car's already vanished. We have a virtual safety car. Andrew Mond is out. That is sad. That is really, really sad. Because Andrew Mond told me before the race that he feels confident here in Monza. And he had a quite good quality result with P7 or P8 or something. And after just 3 laps, he is already out of this Grand Prix. That is very sad. For the moment, we see the next pit stops. Nevis Ikic and Grimo Goodman taking advantage of the virtual safety car phase. Grimo will go on softs. Okay, okay. Then Ikic, where is he? There he is. Will return on the track with a new nose and hearts. I suppose that Ikic will try to go through on this set of hearts. This is very long, very, very long. But could pay out in the end, as long as there is no other safety car phase. In Monza with the full throttle, high speed, start-finish straight, you want to limit your pit stops to a necessary minimum, and that is 1, of course. And Price is out too. Ryan Price is out. There is it. There is the wrecked Mercedes. Didn't I say it? Didn't I say it? The exit of Ascari is vicious. Vicious. You can very easily lose your car there. And we have seen a few drivers struggling with it in the qualifying. And in lap 5 already 2 drivers who crashed their car at the exit of Ascari. Ryan Price, who was part of our interviews earlier this week, is out now too. And here's the attack from Dominic Walsh against Mercyman Martin Ward. And the Red Bull is able to defend for the moment. This will be a hard job for Martin Ward, staying ahead on this high-speed track with all these long DRS zones. This is none of them. Dominic Walsh needs to stay behind Ward with troubles in the second chicane, and therefore the attack from Walsh in the first Lesmo, and Ward just lets him pass. Maybe the counter attack coming up right now. DRS zone now in favor of Ward. Again, yellow in the Ascari. Yellow coming up right here, no overtaking. I think it was a Racing Point who struggled, but this time no crash. Racing Point or McLaren. Maybe it was Len, not Cam. Oh, and there's a fight going on. Stefan Williams against Caruso, and this trouble, this fight we know already. We have seen such a great drive and great fight between those two drivers, Williams versus Caruso, last week in China, and multiple laps long, almost half the race, Rokkstar was chasing Williams and attacking, but Williams was just too fast on the long straight and squashed him off. And the next one, VSC full course yellow. Nevis Ikic was it. Nevis Ikic is out at the end of Ascari. Should be somewhere here. There he is. Yeah, we just saw his car vanish. The track marshals got rid of his wrecked Haas very fast. Whew. Ascari, the big cemetery of Formula 1 cars for tonight. Caruso needed to lift here a little bit, not to exceed the VSC limits. Oh, just like Simo did, just like Peter Simpson did, a drive-through penalty against Simo for speeding under VSC condition. He is the clear leader, crawled away by 2.7 seconds from Kaan Tan. And all this was, not senseless, but at least for the moment wasted. Simo now has 3 laps of time to serve this penalty. If he does not, he will be disqualified, just like Jarne van de Brill did last week. Van de Brill, showed us what happens if you do not through penalty. Just the same situation for him, just later in the race, and then all of a sudden he was gone. So let's see if Simo will serve it right away. He will be somewhere around David Lawson. Lawson you can see with plus 11 seconds, plus 12 soon. Now Simo opted to stay out a bit longer, try to increase his gap a bit in order to not to lose so many places then. So for the moment, most racing action probably will go on between those two drivers yet again. Rokkstar chasing Williams, and ironically it was just for the same position. It was the fight for P3, the fight for the podium. So Rokkstar, by the way, he couldn't pull it through in the end. He was chasing him half the race, and then I think 5 or 10 laps before the end of the race, he sadly crashed and ended this duel. And maybe now today he will try to finish what he couldn't last week. But not yet. Not yet. Same situation as last week. Caruso looks faster over the whole lap, but Stefan Williams is able to pull away just enough on the straights. So it looks like Williams is setting up his car to maximize top speed. And Simo picked up a plus 5 seconds penalty now. Simo is serving his drive-through penalty and therefore is penalized for speeding in the pit lane. Oh. And the next DRS zone, and Caruso can catch up to Williams but not attack him. So, just as I said, it looks like it all goes on than we seen it last week. So here, the way to the Parabolica is not a DRS zone, but the next one is coming up very soon. And this time Williams had a little bit of a problem for Williams on the acceleration. This time Caruso gets him. Caruso finally got him after a combined of, I don't know, maybe 20 attacks in China and Italy. Finally, the Rokkstar managed to push ahead over the Welsh Dragon, but Williams still is on the podium. We've seen Simo Simpson doing his drive-through penalty. Now Simpson is in the pits, getting himself fresh mediums, and he will very likely finish the race on this set of tire now. But yeah, delay. Kaan Tan is out in front. Here he is in his Williams. Our overall leader is on the best way to increase his lead. He is leading over Caruso, the Rokkstar. So P1 and P2 is set right the same way. Yellow in sector 2. I think could have been Gary, who was in the gravel in the Lesmo there shortly. And yeah, Kaan Tan, K-Delay, looks like he is increasing his lead in the overall. Rokkstar, Rokkstar has left the session. Ja, Nevandebril did so too. Maybe a bit of internet connection troubles. No ghosting in our league. But I think, yes, there's the red cross. Rokkstar is being AI driven and therefore Williams pushes ahead again. So I sincerely hope and keep my fingers crossed that Caruso is able to return very soon. But then, when he does, he probably will be angry because he needs to overtake Williams again. And now from behind, there is pressure from behind. Thomas Walsh, who is sitting in 5th overall in our standings. And he is pushing ahead more or less easily there over the ghosted, more or less ghosted Mercedes of Caruso. And late attack! What is going on here? Late attack from the Mixner. That is Jack Rockner, and therefore DKla lost it. Ricky Kuao lost it. He was maybe distracted from what's going on in front of him. And he is out. And it was, can you believe it, at the end of Ascari. And we were live with him when he lost it. There is a car on the left hand side, the wrecked Renault. And therefore now we have a safety car, a full safety car. Peter Simpson Simo has picked up yet another penalty, another +5, because he was, I suppose, in a fight with Blake Gary, and he tagged him, he touched him right in the moment when the safety car came out. And if there is a contact on a safety car, you automatically get granted a +5 seconds. So it is a rather unlucky day for Peter Simpson. He knows this feeling. Bad luck seems to follow him in this season at this point. Both our champions, champion and vice champion, are very bad luck ridden here in the early stages of the season. And Simo, who is right into the pits again. 3rd pit stop including drive-through. And he serves his 5 seconds penalty, will mount fresh hearts to finish the race on it. And he needed a new nose too. New nose likewise. He, I think, wouldn't actually really need to stop for hearts to go through. I think he might have been able to do it on mediums likewise. But okay, he opted to do so. And maybe he didn't have a fresh set of mediums left. That could be possible. And he is back to P13 now. P13. What's Torpedo Jack doing? Yeah, it's a Mixner, Jack Rocknian. He introduced himself when he entered MRS that he is Jack Torpedo Jack. And after last lap, I think we all know why he is called so. Late lunch, late dive bomb, if you can say so, from him. And he is in last position now, and he has one big problem, because he is trapped. He is lapped and trapped among the top 5 or something. And yes, Tom Walsh ahead of him, P5. He is behind is probably then P6, David Lawson. Exactly, that is the case. And that means that Torpedo Jack will have no chance to get his race back, because he will be blue flagged until everyone is passed, and then he is last -1 lap, because the game lacks this option that lap drivers are allowed to return to the initial lap during a safety car phase. In the real world, they are allowed to overtake everyone, including the safety car here in this situation. But yeah, the game doesn't feature it, and so yeah. So I expect the safety car to be ruled in at the end of this lap, and I will just grab a drink for a moment and will be back with you shortly. So as the lights of the safety car are still flashing, we will see one more lap of safety car condition. And I suppose that was because the field wasn't in one queue, wasn't close enough. And so we have one more lap, and yeah, I think most of the drivers will be quite okay with that, as they can go slow on their tires and make them last a little longer. Dominic Walsh on 13 laps old mediums, he will make them last another +4, +5, I would like to say. Same goes for Jarne Vandebril, and then come in lap 17 or something to finish the race on softs. Both of them will then be more or less in last position, as the field is very close here together right now. They will drop a lot. Well, we see Kaan Tan being there. The only driver who was able to get ahead of him tonight was Simo and yeah, Bernd Mailänder in the lights flashing Mercedes safety car. So we're coming closer to sector 3, and there is the message from the race control. Safety car is in this lap. Oh, and finally Mirco Caruso is back into his cockpit. He missed a lot. He missed a lot of action, but luckily he only got ranked back to P4. So if you need to fall out of the game, it's a very, very lucky moment to do that under safety car condition. And here we see now Kaan Tan pacing the field, going slow here on the back straight. And to one moment he will pick up the pace and try to run away from everyone. And there it is, I think. Yes, he is back to full speed, shaking off Stefan Williams, who was not able to pull away from Thomas Walsh and might be under pressure here. But we know that his car is fast on the straight, and then a threesome into the first chicane. Torpedo check, Dominic Walsh and Caruso. And it's only been a threesome because Rokkstar is lapped. Rokkstar. Not a good thing to do. What's going on here? McLaren against Red Bull, Lennart Kam, Stuart McDonald against David Lawson. Whoa, late attack from Lawson in the second chicane, and he got it but couldn't get around the turn. He need to travel through gravel, and then now he is under attack by Vandebril. And Vandebril is still AI driven and therefore a easy prey for Blake Gary. David Lawson, who will go through on this set, likewise to everyone ahead except Dominic Walsh. Gary seemed to get faster through Ascari. There was a little bit of yellow, but already vanished. Gary against Lawson, and those two against McDonald then ahead. Mistake a little bit from Lawson on acceleration. Now he is able to pull ahead again slightly, maybe due to ERS power. No pressure from behind, but there's something going on. This is Vandebril against Martin Ward. Ward braking later on the brake for Ward. And he gets it. He gets past Vandebril and gets through the chicane. And another action going on. A lot of stuff here on the track. Grimo against Taylor. And those close now to the rear of Vandebril. Grimo attacking. Grimo late on the brake. And Vandebril lost 2 positions in just 2 chicanes. Taylor does not attack, at least not yet. And Vandebril, yes, of course, still the red cross over his name or next to his name. That's why he is dropped behind so much. 3rd position dropped in just 1 lap. As soon as he will return, he will be angry, I suppose. So, what's going on here? We see Lennart Kam, Stuart McDonald. 6 or 7 tenths ahead of Gary, and just likewise the same behind Dominic Walsh. So everyone within the DRS window. DRS should be activated right now. And there is the one and only pit stop from Dom Walsh. He will be ranked back to almost last, I suppose. Let's have a look what's going on here. Most track action probably between Williams and Tom Walsh. At least I suppose so. There are a few drivers in each DRS window, but no attack anywhere at the moment. Maybe an attack coming up from our good man Grimo has spun, almost spun. There was contact, I'm very sure, between him and either Mike Taylor or maybe who was it? Was it Gary? Was it Lawson? I'm not quite sure. I just know that Martin Ward pushed ahead. Martin Ward took advantage of the situation, but now is under pressure from Mike Taylor. Have a look how fast the Red Bull is. No DRS for Mercyman, but still he is able to be fast enough so that Taylor cannot attack him. And now on the back straight, no DRS zone here. Mike Taylor is in the DRS window, so he will get close to Mercyman on the long start-finish straight. But right now I doubt that there will be an attack. Speaking about an attack, wheel to wheel, Williams against Thomas Walsh. And Williams is in P2 again. Was a hard battle, both was braking very late, but in the end Williams was able to stay ahead. A lot of stuff going on here. So I finally get the information in the live chat box, thanks to Jan Vandenbrugge, that he's not racing anymore. He got kicked and cannot overtake control of the car anymore. That is very sad. Sad end to his racing evening. But luckily you are still with us. And watch the next attack for P2. Tom Walsh against Williams. And this time Walsh stays ahead. Williams is behind. We've seen yellow and virtual safety car. Jack Rokkstar has finally retired. Oh, and it looks like who is close there? Yes, we just saw him vanish. Rokkstar, the next one, who ended his race evening in Ascari. We have now 1, 2, 3, 5 drivers to DNF, and I think every one of them threw their car away at the end of Ascari. Incredible, really incredible. But it's just a VSC, just a virtual safety car. And all this goes in the advantage, I would like to say, from K Delay, Kaan Tan. Now we're back to green, and just 9 plus this lap left for him to bring home the 4th consecutive podium. And with Caruso, the Rokkstar, being only in P4, P4 would grant him 12 points. That would mean that Kaan Tan would make up 13 points. And in case he gets the fastest lap, even 16. So he would have a rather comfortable lead then in our overall standings. But the race isn't over yet. Here we are with Stefan Williams. Damn it, I'm sorry. Stefan Williams. We ride on board on his shoulder. And he gets close to Tom Walsh, but not next to him. No chance for an attack. He needs to stay close to him now on the rest of the lap. Especially in the less small turns, that will be very hard with dirty air and very limited downforce. What's going on here? Ooh, someone going very hard through the turn, and Mercy man, Martin Ward needs to let Mike Taylor pass in order to avoid being penalized for an illegal overtake. But I think nothing else happened, so everything is okay. Speaking about damage or something, yellow in sector 2 in the Lesmos. It's right here, or right here. Martin Ward, this is Caruso! Mirco Caruso, can you believe it? Mirco Caruso has thrown it away again. And if I say again, I didn't mean this push from Hotshots. I rather meant having a good race and then struggling and having a spin on some curbs here. Is his car damaged? Is there some wing missing on his front wing, on his nose? No, doesn't look like. It looks like everything is fine for his nose. Repeating weeks for Caruso. Fighting against Williams. This time he got it, at least until he was thrown out internet-wise. And then in the end, he has spun again, and therefore, yeah, he didn't throw it away completely, but yeah, his race is ruined. He needs to try to limit his damage and get somewhere in the points. And just the next effect that speaks in total advantage of Kaan Tan, because now he would make up 25 points on his nearest rival in the overall standings, and then that would not be Caruso anymore, that would be Stefan Williams. Then Williams would be ranked ahead into P2 for his third place here today. And Kaan Tan would then have, while we see Caruso pushing ahead of... Simo is out too, okay, Simo is out too. Simo is a very emotional person, and it looks like that with all the stuff going against him, he has either disconnected or his internet connection was troubling him again here today. So all of what's going on is speaking in favor of Kaan Tan, who is leading more or less comfortably. There he is, 3.5 seconds, almost away from Thomas Walsh, who sees all his rivals in the overall standings struggle and throw things away or throw good races away, while he is just cruising downhill here in Monza, one lap after the next. Not the slightest mistake yet for him, and yeah, as long as he doesn't commit the mistake, as long as he doesn't throw it away, this should be a rather easy win for him in 5 laps from now. Behind him now Stefan Williams, who's chasing Tom Walsh. And yeah, this is a little bit of a taste of Caruso, because it looks like Williams doesn't get ahead of Walsh. He is fast, rather fast, and always be able to zoom ahead, to get close to the rear of Walsh, but just not close enough to attack him. Let's see how this continues. So the back straight, that is not the DRS zone. And Williams searching the slipstream now. It would look pretty good if he can get cleanly through Parabolica and the dirty air might not go too hard on him. Yeah, half a second away. Now this is again too far away. Too far away. He cannot attack him. It always looks like Williams is not good enough and cleanly enough through the Parabolica, and that gives Tom Walsh the little bit of breather he needs in order to not let Williams attack him. We can easily stay with this battle here right now. There is more or less no action, no attackings going on the rest of the field. No one is in the DRS window of the driver ahead. Oh, Williams going aggressively through the second chicane. This will very likely be a warning. Shouldn't have too much of them, otherwise you get penalized by +3 seconds for corner cutting. Let's have a look, by the way, as we're speaking about the penalties. A few +3s. Gary and Lawson and Mercyman Martin Ward plus a double +3 for Scuba Stephen Hodgetts. And Hodgetts would then be ranked back behind Mercyman, and that would mean both Scuba and Mercyman Martin Ward will get granted the first points of their season. By the way, likewise to Blake Gary in P5. He is one of the few drivers who did not have points granted yet thus far in their season. And in 3 laps from now, this will change if they don't throw it away. So the last 2 laps are on, and right now Williams has dropped out of the 1 second window already midway through the last lap. Actually, Caruso is out, Vanderbrill is out, at least left the session internet wise, so their races are finished. P11, 12, 13, all of them are disconnected sadly. Grimmo maybe is so too, I'm not sure, cannot have a look at it right now. But anyway, after the safety car phase we had some action right immediately afterwards, but then the things were settled very fast, I would like to say. Kaan Tan just ran away from everyone. Williams and Tom Walsh battled out the podium positions, so as things stand right now, Williams was not too bold with his prediction. He told us in the interview he wants at least a podium, and congratulations, already by now he managed that. He just needs to stay on track for the last 1.5 laps. He is 12.5 seconds away from Stuart McDonald, so as long as he doesn't throw it away, he should easily be able to get it done. And for the last lap, maybe let's have a look what's going on here between Mike Taylor and David Lawson. Taylor will be ranked ahead anyway because Lawson has this +3 seconds penalty in his backpack. But as far as I know, Mike Taylor, he's a racer, he wants to get it settled on the track, and here in the DRS zone he does just that. He's ahead of Lawson. He seems to get through the chicane smoothly and cleanly. Yes, he does. He accelerates away on his faster medium tires. Lawson running on used hards already. So he looks like away for the moment. Larsen is a race to 2. So he knows that he is ranked back. He will stay in this 7th position. But he wants to at least try to fight back. No chance on his hards. Tires are just too slow to compete with the mediums from Taylor. And then, I think we are very close to the checkered flag here. Yes, we are. The last Parabolica turn and another win. Yet another win for Kaan Tan. Congratulations. 4th consecutive pole for the Swiss man. 2nd, then Tom Walsh. 3rd, Stefan Williams. And 4th goes, here we go, Leonard Cam, Stewart, McDonald's. Have a short look about the starting position. The positions changed, so Leonard Cam +7, Tom Walsh +8, crawling up to the podium from somewhere in the midfield again. Not the first time that he did it this year. Mike Taylor and Blake Gary did so too. First points in this season for Blake Gary, Scuba and Mercyman. Congratulations to all those guys. Yeah, and very sad end, of course, for Rokkstar again, for Simo and for Jane Mandebrill. Yes, so this is it. This has been the Italian Grand Prix in the 2nd MRS season, and very likely the last time we move to Monza here in the MRS on this game at least. And yet again, a victory for Kaan Tan and some well-deserved virtual champagne in front of the 10th or 100th thousands of fans here in Monza. So after the champagne, we have a look at the final result after penalties. Takes a bit longer than usual. Nevis Ikic checked out just lately, so maybe this brought things into a bit of troubles here. I don't know. My PlayStation still tells me that I have to wait, please. Ah yeah, okay. And sadly, I did not see the final result after penalties. That is a bit sad. Still, what can I recall? Congratulations to our winners, Kaan Tan, for increasing the overall lead. 2nd was Thomas Walsh. 3rd, then Stefan Williams. Congratulations to Mike Taylor for a great catch-up. Congratulations to Leonard Cam, to Blake Gary for points. Points likewise granted to David Lawson. I just cannot see how many of them it was. Congratulations to Scuba, Stephen Hodgetts and Martin Ward, Mercyman, for their each first points of the season. So yes, this was it. This is it. We have finished the race in a little bit of an awkward way. But yeah, the Monza Grand Prix is over. I just have a short look where the race calendar will bring us next week. After Italy, we will head to Austin, the circuit of the Americas, next week, Wednesday, March the 24th. We start the session always at 7:30 p.m. of UK time. The stream goes online about 5 to 10 minutes earlier on my channel. Yeah, it was a pleasure to stream this Grand Prix into your living room. I hope you liked it just as much as I did. And thanks for being with us. I would be glad if you would tune in next week again. I'm Seb Bauer, and have a nice evening. Stay safe in these times, and keep racing.